importantly, when it comes to money and relationships, there is no one right way to handle financial resources for every couple out there. There just isn't. So money conversations are really important when you're dating and as you move into a more serious relationship, because you really need to figure out with each other how you want to handle financial resources, what works best for the two of you. And I think it's really important as a couple is navigating that question to make sure that they're putting guardrails in place so that they're creating ways to be transparent with each other about their financial resources, and especially as they're moving toward marriage or in a marriage, because you want to have transparency. You want to make sure your partner has access to joint resources. You want to make sure that there's a contingency, some health event, an accident, even a death. You want to make sure that you know how you're going to help each other out in those situations or not. Like,
Yeah, right.
you want to have the plan in place. Certainly, you want to think about when you're in that conversation, what's worked well for us in the past. So in our relationship so far, are we happy with the way we've been handling money? What's worked, what hasn't worked, what we want to change, and how are we going to make financial decisions together? So again, the prenup, if a couple's getting married and wants to put a premarital agreement in place, that process of putting one together helps them think through this question: how are we going to make financial decisions together? The answer usually is contingent on having had some conversation about what is our financial vision for the future. What are we trying to build toward together? How can we build upon this partnership that we have in a financial way?
So important. I hear couples talk about when we were so young, we had no money. So there was no need for a prenup. And what I'm hearing from you, we should all leverage the questions that are embedded in a prenup. You don't have to even go through the process, but these are such good questions to explore, and they'll evolve as you grow up. But they're really important questions, and I even want to bring them into our relationship. I've been married now, gosh, how many years? 13 years, I think. And these are great questions. They're dialogues to be having.
They are, and things change, right?
That's right.
When we're at the beginning of a relationship, we might have certain values, and because of life experiences we have along the way, our values might shift. And so I think it's important to continue to have these conversations, Cami, because sometimes couples' values shift in different directions. And if they're not understanding that of each other, it can cause tension later
Yeah.
on, especially around money. We see this sometimes when there's a large liquidity event well into the marriage and the couples are no longer aligned around their values. One wants to maybe spend a lot more money as a result. The other wants to give more money away.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
Mm-hmm.
so there's some more level setting that needs to be done to get everyone back onto the same page. And sometimes that doesn't happen. I think it is important to be very
Yeah.
clear about values, to make sure that as a couple that there is alignment of values. And that's not to say that you both have to have the same exact values,
I think that's really important.
right?
I
There's
love, yeah,
right,
you
but you want
can,
there to be some overlap or some respect, and you want to be able to make money decisions together that are in alignment with your values.
that's a beautiful,
Sounds so easy,
beautiful.
doesn't it?
It does sound so easy, which reminds us that it's not easy, but it becomes easier the more we're in practice and having the conversations, being curious, being open. I love your recommendation, being a great listener, right? It's so important.